Welcome, everyone. Today, we're diving into one of the most fascinating stories in the Bible, the Book of Esther. It's a tale filled with drama, courage, and the hidden hand of God's providence. Get ready to explore a story that's as relevant today as it was thousands of years ago. If you have your Bible, open it to the Book of Esther, and let's journey together. The story begins in the Persian Empire, during the reign of King Xerxes, also known as Ahasuerus. Esther 1:1 tells us, "This is what happened during the time of Xerxes. The Xerxes who ruled over 127 provinces stretching from India to Kush. This empire was vast, powerful, and diverse. And at the heart of it was the royal palace in Susa. King Xerxes decided to throw a lavish banquet, displaying his wealth and splendor. The festivities lasted for 180 days, followed by a 7-day feast for all in the capital. But things took a dramatic turn when Queen Vashti refused to obey the king's command to appear before his guests. Esther 1:10-12. Her defiance led to her removal as queen, setting the stage for Esther's rise. Enter Esther, a Jewish girl raised by her cousin Mordecai. Esther's beauty and character caught the attention of the royal officials, and she was brought to the palace. After months of beauty treatments, she stood before the king. Esther 2:17 says, "Now the king was attracted to Esther more than to any of the other women, and she won his favor and approval more than any of the other virgins. So he set a royal crown on her head and made her queen." However, Esther kept her Jewish identity a secret, as Mordecai had advised. This detail becomes crucial later in the story. Now we meet the villain of the story, Haman. As the king's top official, Haman demanded respect, but Mordecai, a faithful Jew, refused to bow to him. Esther 3:5-6 reveals Haman's response. When Haman saw that Mordecai would not kneel down or pay him honor, he was enraged. Yet having learned who Mordecai's people were, he scorned the idea of killing only Mordecai. Instead, Haman looked for a way to destroy all Mordecai's people, the Jews. Haman manipulated King Xerxes into issuing a decree to annihilate the Jews. This was a dire situation, and Mordecai turned to Esther for help. Mordecai's plea to Esther is one of the most famous passages in the Bible. Esther 4:14 reads, "And who knows but that you have come to your royal position for such a time as this?" Inspired by Mordecai's words, Esther decided to approach the king, even though it was against the law to do so, without being summoned. In Esther 4:16, she declared, "Go, gather together all the Jews who are in Susa, and fast for me. Do not eat or drink for 3 days, night or day. I and my attendants will fast as you do. When this is done, I will go to the king, even though it is against the law. And if I perish, I perish." Esther's plan began with hosting a banquet for the king and Haman. At the second banquet, she revealed Haman's plot. Esther 7:3-4 records her words. "If I have found favor with you, your majesty, and if it pleases you, grant me my life. This is my petition, and spare my people. This is my request, for I and my people have been sold to be destroyed, killed, and annihilated." The king was enraged, and Haman's evil plot unraveled. He was executed on the very gallows he had prepared for Mordecai. Esther 7:9-10. The story doesn't end there. Esther and Mordecai worked together to issue a new decree, allowing the Jews to defend themselves. Esther 9:1 tells us, "On the 13th day of the 12th month, the month of Adar, the edict commanded by the king was to be carried out. On this day, the enemies of the Jews had hoped to overpower them, But now the tables were turned. The Jews triumphed, and this victory is celebrated annually as the Feast of Purim, a joyous reminder of God's deliverance. The book of Esther reminds us that even when God seems hidden, he is actively working behind the scenes. Esther's courage, faith, and willingness to act made her a vessel of deliverance for her people. Reflect on the challenges in your own life. Perhaps, like Esther, you are here for such a time as this. Thank you for joining me today. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share if this story inspired you. Let's keep the conversation going in the comments. Until next time, keep seeking truth and living boldly. God bless.